Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for March 30th, 2020, Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern. If you understand this quote from Helen Keller, everything has its wonders, even darkness and silence. And I learn, whatever state I may be in, therein to be content. All of us, we have this, I guess you could call it an innate ability to not be satisfied. You ever felt like that? You ever felt like you weren't satisfied? Whatever it may be. Could be relationship, could be how you perceive things, and the civilization as a whole. And whenever we talk about us, we're talking about everyone. And we're not from a judgment perspective, but an understanding of the frequencies that we're made up of. So, when you become the deepest valley of reception, then the highest peaks of consciousness can be given to you. When you become the deepest valley of reception, then the highest peaks of consciousness can be given to you. And only a valley can receive a peak. Osho. When people are struggling, there's one thing that they all have in common. They all continuously choose to support their old limiting thoughts and negative beliefs, whatever it may be. Take money. They continuously choose to support their old limiting thoughts and negative beliefs around money. What do most people do? They worry, stress, and fear because they don't have enough and they're not satisfied. Now remember, when you become the deepest valley of reception, then the highest peaks of consciousness can be given to you. When you listen to the God within, to the heart-mind. We get stuck in this 3D frequency. You can, if you're in 5D, you can still be seduced, tricked, because you're so used to it. Now, we have a choice. Do we continuously choose to support our old limiting thoughts and negative beliefs around wealth or money, rather than actually doing something radically different and exciting to move through them? Most people live and hide underneath their excuses. They become almost like fearful to discovering their real power. In other words, how do you put it? It's almost like they're cowards to discovering their real power. And I've talked to a lot of people, and that's a common thread. I don't want to go in. I don't care to go in and find out who and what I am. I just that's disturbing for me. You see, and I'm not just saying a few people, but a lot of people through the years that I've asked. And a lot of people hide behind their pride. There's an old saying, goes like this: pride goeth before a fall. Rather than revealing and healing their feelings of fear and And that's about going within. Only we can do that with ourselves. No one else can. It's our choosing. It's our direction. When we heal our feelings of fear, self-judgment, and financial intolerance, you can't do this through the ego mind. And that's where a lot of people mess up. They do it through the ego mind, and it's just an absolute mess when they do that. It must go through the heart mind. Each time our minds unconsciously the mind creates this pattern of choosing a desperate, needy response to life. And guess what? The universe has to respond accordingly. Creating into reality, manifesting a similar situation. So, if your mind, unconsciously, okay, so in other words, you're not intending it, let's put it that way. Here's where the trickery comes in. You're not intending it. You're not saying, oh yeah, it's unconscious. All right? And so, the mind itself creates this pattern, and the pattern is, a lot of the times, choosing a desperate, needy response to life. And guess what? The universe has to respond accordingly, and it creates into reality, manifests a similar situation. And the habit becomes so natural for us that we have to something very radical we have to do something very radical to alleviate needy response to life. And the habit becomes so natural that we have to do something radical for perpetual addictive state of financial frustration. We have to alleviate that. It's a perpetual addictive state of financial frustration. How many people have you come across, or yourself, where you, in different ways, and I'm not talking about judging, that you've just experienced with other people on that, something similar to that, you see? Now, a lot of people have to accept the fact that they are a powerful, omnipotently powerful, divine perfection being, creating into reality, a manifesting being who has totally stopped following their old excuses and is now choosing to live a life that is continuously moving through the fear. And I say continuously because the fear, if you ever notice, seems to be like kind of out there. At times it doesn't seem to be there, but you never notice that sometimes it's kind of like shadowing you. And I don't mean heavy duty, I just mean it's a knowing. And when something occurs through the ego mind, and the ego mind is in charge, it then dictates to the heart mind, which then becomes upset and fearful. And we choose. It's always about us choosing for ourselves. It really is. And unfortunately for the civilization, it's been, caught in residual bicameral mode. But you choose to live a life that is continuously moving through the fear. So anything that comes up that's fear that the ego mind generates as a thought, remember, it is only a thought. That's all it is. It's nothing else. It's a thought. Only when you embrace that thought, you create it into reality. Then it becomes fear. Okay? And knowing this literally gives us the understanding and the clarity. Okay, so I have a fear. I know that the ego mind has created this fear. Now, I wasn't aware, at least I didn't believe I was aware that I had embraced this thought of fear. So something happens and immediately the ego mind goes into overtime. And it starts generating these thoughts that you embrace because that's why you're experiencing the fear. Say. Remember, the impoverished mindset is one that continuously resists fear. Controlling the emotions and creating distraction so that you do not have to feel your fear. See what I mean? So that you do not have to feel your fear. And it's quite interesting because a lot of us do this. And this type of controlling energy tends to say no, big fat no to life, and denying new ideas, opportunities, and people. You ever done that? So it abides in a feeling that there is never enough to go around. And we must compete, suck it up, and live a life of compromise if we are to survive. And ego mind, it thinks you must stick to doing your duty, live in obligations, always work hard, struggle to survive, and not think too big just so we don't upset others. You ever done that? It's in this very uncreative approach to life that people escape from their true power and get to be irresponsible for their real life purpose, which is to know themselves as the divine, all-powerful, creating into reality, manifesting being they truly are. And this is rampant at a time like this because we're approaching a total, an absolute flip of the financial wellness of the planet for the people. And poverty thinking is the one dis-ease. Poverty thinking is the one dis-ease that can completely destroy the great potential of love and joy your life contains. People continue choosing to play small, helpless, lazy, abandoned, unloved, and unwanted because there's nothing they can do about it, and it is their destiny. You ever hear someone say that? It's my destiny. I guess I'm just marked to be poor, impoverished, just getting by enough to survive. Poverty consciousness is perhaps the most unconscious, self-destructive, and addictive pattern that people have, which will ruin their chances at enjoying their life. How many people unconsciously have embraced this type of being? And they go through life and they struggle and stress and fear. Now, the poverty mindset can be brilliant in the way that it will rationalize things, thinking that by consuming less resources, you ever done this one? We are thus helping the world out and saving our planet. By spending less money, we become more wealthy and less dependent on money or the world for our survival. Now, of course, there is a grain of truth in everything. And the best path is to create a world of total sustainability within a conscious, loving lifestyle. Create a world of total sustainability within a conscious, loving lifestyle. Yet the intention of holding back out of fear, and not fully honoring your true creating into reality, manifesting power is the greatest loss of all. If you're constantly holding tight onto money, you're creating struggle and strive within yourself and always feeling that you don't have enough. And this literally, you create it into reality. It all starts with a thought. This manifests into many forms. One will show up as your inability to contribute your full, unlimited, unbounded joy into your community. You cannot show up for a wild, free, abundant, loving life purpose if you are holding tight onto anything and living in fear on any level. This is important because we're literally transcending. We've shifted into a higher frequency. And so to any vestige of this mentality that we have embraced in the old way, in the old world of 3D, we must decide for ourselves to let it go once and for all. The first step to train, because I'm going to tell you, it doesn't matter how much you have, if you carry this consciousness, it isn't going to be a lovely life for you. And the first step to transcending poverty consciousness is to find out exactly where it is showing up in your life and in your thinking. It is only through the awareness of these negative thoughts that you can liberate your mind from repeating them. And the moment a limiting thought flows through the brain, you must step back from it and see it from a distance. And don't emotionally buy into the story that accompanies it. You see? When we are able to identify exactly where, when, and how we emotionally fall into our poverty-stricken belief system, then we have a chance at moving beyond it. You got to know where it comes from in order to leave it alone, to just let it just go away and disintegrate. You're not participating in it anymore. Yet you must keep a very close, watchful eye on this poverty thinking if you're ever going to get beyond it. And when you, all of us, any of us, can see how we justify being stuck, poor, or happily struggling, then you'll be able to find a way to invent a new story about how good it feels to no longer live in a world filled with excuses. And a lot of us will sit and say incessantly, we tell ourselves that it's easier to remain stuck. And this is the ego mind, okay, telling us this through the heart mind. It's easier to remain stuck in just having enough to survive than to own up to the fact that any of us are a super powerful, creating into reality, manifesting being who can have anything they desire. And that's a fact. It's an absolute fact. If they owned that empowering thought, it would either mean that their whole life was some sort of failure or they were a completely stupid and ignorant person. So people make up all sorts of wonderful feel-good stories about their poverty, saying that it's more holy to be poor, or it's not okay to take too much, and this takes up their energy for remembering that we all have an infinite supply of creativity, love, energy, and consciousness available to us 24/7. And we don't have to go anywhere to access it. It is within us. And then these are the ingredients which actually create money. Who do you think creates it? Do you think printing presses create it? We do. It is with our intent. It's with what we believe. It is our mindset. See? And when we journey within, we begin to discover many things about who and what we are. I am the joy. I am the happiness. I am the bliss. And as silly as that sounds to so many with their ego minds in full force, it is the truth. And you know it to be the truth because you can tell by the vibrational frequency that it lends. So, living in poverty consciousness, honestly, really, truly, is a lie. And it's based in deep denial, knowing the magical, reality, manifesting potential energy inside of each and every one of us. And the consequences for continuing to believe in such a deep misunderstanding are the experiences of struggle, pain, desperation, and lack. And the more money you feel you don't have, the more busy you become to fulfill this need. Poverty thinking creates an energetic distraction from knowing your intimate connection with the God source within you. And the mind is obsessed with being right. You ever notice that? The mind is obsessed about being right all the time. And for it to admit how it's choosing each day to remain stuck, creating into reality and manifesting more poverty-stricken situations would completely destroy it. Okay? Admitting this, for the mind, the ego mind to admit that how it's choosing each day to remain stuck and creating the reality of manifesting more poverty-stricken situations would completely destroy it. And I'm telling you, and I think people have a real different, and it's now to adjust, to become an understanding with yourself, loving and joy and contentment, no matter how rich or poor any of us are. Even if you are a centillionaire, a gazillionaire, the ego mind will be addicted to wanting more. That's a fact. Research it all you want. You will come up with the same thing. The ego mind will be addicted to wanting more. No matter how rich or poor you are, even if you are a centillionaire, a gazillionaire, the ego mind will be addicted to wanting more. You see how it works? It will always tell you that you need more. No matter how hard you try, you can never completely satisfy the demanding, desiring ego. Its purpose is wanting, 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 wanting. This incessant wanting creates the feeling of poverty. So it's important to remember that our ego is not designed to know what true satisfaction is. Imagine that. This is the purpose of the soul and discovering your spiritual nature, the kingdom of God within you. The mind doesn't have the time to be curious about this divinity inside you. It wants you to believe it's a lie. How many times you've been faced with that? How many times has this civilization been faced with that? That the ego mind wants you to believe that the divinity inside you is a lie and that you need more stuff if you ever want to be happy. Now this lie, that more things equal a better life, is very deep, and if accepted over time, it may cause you to lose sight of your source of true happiness, which is in your life purpose and spiritual nature. It's your natural state of being. So the ego mind literally convinces us that it isn't our natural state of being. That the divinity inside of us, the God within, is a lie. And that you can never have enough. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. All the greatest treasures are hidden behind that which we wouldn't want to be with. We all are this ultimate mischief and brilliance. All the wisdom, compassion, and treasure is within us. So how are you going to hide it? How are you going to hide it? Pamela Wilson. And that's what it boils down to for us all. Because we're right on the edge. We're getting close to actually we are in the processing of, you've got to shift your consciousness because the financial aspect and the wealth of this planet is shifting to the people. And to completely break away from poverty consciousness, you simply have to commit your life to a new way of being. Isn't that what we're all doing anyway? And you don't have to do anything. You choose. Either you choose or you don't. You choose to totally retrain your brain to believe that anything is possible and trust that the universe is your friend who is always looking out for you. And it is always looking out for you. And it always has your back. But the majority of us ignore it. We don't believe it. We don't trust it. The ego mind says, that's a lie too. That doesn't work. And you've got to believe, you've got to choose to believe that you are naturally a powerful, creating into reality manifester, and this world is your playground. It's where you can create that which you desire to be a part of. Okay? And perhaps the most hidden secret for all of us is transcending poverty consciousness. Is also the most powerful one, which is this. Is the hidden secret to transcending poverty consciousness is also the most powerful one, which is this. And ultimately, when we all can truly relax into the core of our worst, relax into the core of our worst feelings of poverty, the peace found in that relaxation contains an unstoppable resource of abundance, wealth, prosperity, riches, love, healing, and creativity inside it. It is only through facing our fears that we can be released from them. What happens when this is, we find a state of total emptiness inside that also contains our greatest fullness? We do nothing and merge with everything. Understand that. We do nothing, yet we merge with everything. And by looking deep inside ourselves, at our own choosing, at our own timing, and feeling acceptance of our spiritual nature, we can discover this unlimited power, limitless power, to manifest, create in reality anything we can imagine. There's where the childhood imagination comes in, front and center. Anything you can imagine. Do not fear to be a child. And I don't mean to be a 6-year-old. Do not fear to be a child. When we understand, when we find a total state of emptiness inside of us that also contains our greatest fullness, and we do nothing and merge with everything, and by looking deep inside ourselves, feeling acceptance of our spiritual nature, we can discover this unlimited power, creating into reality, manifesting anything we can imagine. It comes down to dropping out of the head and into our heart. Drop out of the head. Leave the mind alone. Let it be. Let the mind be. Drop out of it and move into your hearts. And that we finally relax and discover the natural state of abundance inside of us. And I know that goes against everything we've been taught in a lot of cases, and it's been ingrained in the civilization. But we now have become aware that it has been ingrained in us. We also have been empowered with the knowledge on how to limit and alleviate our poverty consciousness. The heart contains the greatest freedom, and that is truly freeing and life-enriching. The feeling of great abundance naturally comes when any of us live from the heart and abide in feelings of gratitude that are already there. They're already there for all of us. Check it out for yourselves. See for yourself. Imagine, what would your week be like if you lived from your heart and only practiced gratitude for the life you already have? It's first through accepting the idea that you are enough, that you are enough. And that can later create into reality and manifest into the experience of having enough. If you're thinking for 1 minute about what you don't have, it means you've missed 60 seconds of feeling loved, rich, and abundant about what you do have. And I know this seems old, and it seems repetitive, but it is the truth. And you know it to be so because you can feel the vibrational frequency once you dip into it. Poverty thinking is a cheap way of getting scraps of love, which ultimately end up costing everyone in the end. Poverty thinking is a cheap way of getting scraps of love, which ultimately end up costing everyone in the end. It can be very enticing to stay in, as other people around you don't want to leave their habits, and thus will give you tons of extra sympathy when you're broke and struggling in the dirt with them. It's all about believing in the lie that you are not an all-powerful, creating into reality, manifesting being that creates all suffering. Now, this lie is the greatest one can ever make. It is the original missed mark of mankind. It is causing many of us to miss out on the deep source of joy that is at the core of our being. So basically what we're looking at here, it's a choosing, it's a knowledge of understanding, and it is for us to choose. Because in fifth density, this will create much more havoc for us to hang on to that old pattern of belief instead of switching it to the contentment that we are and the knowing that we can create anything we desire, and that this ridiculous poverty consciousness that we've embraced, a lot of us embrace it, none of us are really exempt from it, even those that are very, very, very rich, continually plagued with the attitude that they don't have enough. And we have all that we need. And when we come to that realization as a civilization that we have all that we need, you will be so free, so joyous, so blissful, that you'll never want to leave that. Just remember, if you're thinking for 1 minute about what you don't have, and this is a heads up for us, it means you've missed 60 seconds of feeling loved, rich, and abundant about what you do have. In that 1 minute. How often do we think more than 1 minute? Because you're loved all the time, 24/7, without end, without fail, eternally. You are rich eternally and abundant eternally. And you have all that you could possibly imagine to have. Surrender into that. And the poverty thinking can no longer be. Contentment. Contentment with ourselves, within us. Contentment for what we do have. Gratitude. Contentment. Try it, because I know every one of you will like it, and you won't want to leave it. Now, if we will go to the place where we aren't going to be interrupted, and I know we all are, first thing you want to do is relax the body. Now, a lot of people think they relax the body. When I was a massage therapist for many years, I learned, and through acupressure and Reiki and other applications to relax the body, I learned that most of us fight relaxation. When we're trying to relax, we actually are fighting it. That's why so many of us have so many different pains, stresses, and how we operate, and how we are, and what we feel. So you let it go. It's almost like, I use the hot air balloon with a basket. You want to go up and you want to soar, and you want to see all the beautiful colors of the trees and everything, usually in the fall. And how are you going to do that when you're at ground level? And when we carry all this baggage, we're not going anywhere. You understand that? So you take the baggage, the sandbags, just drop out the ballast of the basket, and it'll just start going up. You'll keep going up, and you're in control. You're in control how far, how high you want to go. By how much ballast you're carrying, how much weight. And the weight is what? The weight is the subconscious mind, which also dictates to us that, worry, stress, and fear through the ego mind, which then what does what? Creates stress in the body, which then causes us to be discomfortable, disrelaxed. So we release the body, we release all these, and we know that we have them. We carry them, we pick them up. A lot of the times, unconsciously, but we let them go. Do they serve us any good? Do they serve us a high frequency? No, they don't. We know that. So we let them go. No matter how used we are carrying them, we let them go. First might be a little touchy for us, but when we get used to letting it go, we don't care to ever have it. So we relax the body, head to toe, inside and out. Body listens. Just remember, you're in a hammock on a summer afternoon, light breeze, and you don't have a care in the world because you kind of fade off into that kind of between sleep and total relaxation, and you don't even think about lifting your arm, your head, nothing. And you're just there, and you don't even care to move because you're in such a place. And that place is getting real close to the God within you when you're in that suspension. So as we relax the body, we move into the now. And what is the now? It's this very moment. It's all we've got. We don't have the past. The past is dead. We've already experienced all those things. And yes, it's always enticing, and we reminisce, and such beautiful, wonderful memories. But the danger of that seduction is that many of us will drag those memories, those past experiences into the future to recreate the past, which is dead. Now, I'm not saying there's no right or wrong, it's just what people do. But I guarantee you, if they were knowledgeable and clear of it, they wouldn't do it. Because we're in the now, and we create our futures in the now. So whatever it is that you have written down, that you keep adding to on the world that you wish to live in, and the life that you intend to live in that world, then you will create it. It is absolute. And if you are of the understanding of overseeing your evil mind through the heart mind, and that you operate in the heart mind, and that intent is full commitment, and you're content with it, then you'll experience all of it. And it'll all be new. It won't be old from past experiences. It'll be new. So, in the now, we also still the ego mind. And we also still the subconscious mind, which allows us to reprogram it. So, all that chatter, that noise by moving into the now subsides. And you become one with the heart, with the God. And you move into contentment. And you feel how brilliantly grateful you are for you, for the very moment you're in, from the space between heartbeats, you. The deep gratitude that you feel, you. The love that you feel, you. Right now, right in this now, that we're experiencing, each of us. And the wonderful contentment, because we have everything we could ever desire. That is when it comes limitless to all of us. Now we also want to breathe. We want to breath in through the nose and breath out through the mouth. Breathing is so empowering for us. It focuses us, it relaxes us, it de-stresses us, it calms us. And as we breath in, we pull it in. This is divine positive energy. We pull it in. It goes up through the sacral. It goes up through, let's just call it the groin, the sacral chakra. And it goes all the way up through the center of all the etheric energy points of the body, all of the 7 chakras. It goes all the way up through the throat chakra, into the head, into the brain, and underneath the skull cap, the cranial area. And it sets, and we literally condense it into liquid, pure liquid frequency energy. And that liquid, we literally shower and immerse the pineal gland in it, which is also a frequency. And this revitalizes, regenerates, and blossoms the pineal gland like a lotus blossom. It opens. And it is the gateway to all the particles of existence beyond. It is actually beyond consciousness. And consciousness is that which created us. So we bring that in, and we continue an infinite wave. We bring it in, up, and out, and down, and in, up, out, down, in, up, and down, and it's just continual. And it fills us with a contentment, a bliss, a joy, and the energy that we receive can get to the point where it will flash you out, where you'll just pass out because the energy is so strong. But it's good. When we breath out, obviously we're breathing in and we're breathing out, and we're continuing this process, this breathing in and out, this regenerating the pineal gland into full function. And divine positive energy is coming in through the God and the heart mind. This is where it comes in. And it comes in on a second-to-second basis. It is a vibrational frequency that we sense, that we feel, that we move with. And literally it tells us, you have everything. Stop searching outside yourself. There's no such thing as lack. Even when you're sitting there, chewing on a biscuit in the middle of nowhere with nothing to your name, it is inside you, but we've been taught to continually look outside of ourselves. And that's not it. And it's a proven fact. Look at the results of that belief system. And you are filled, all of us are. And when we embrace the heart mind, and we literally, our intent and commitment is to operate through the heart mind, I can guarantee you the ego will eventually vanish. And you will be in complete bliss. And you will experience full enlightenment, because you will not leave the bliss. You will maintain it always in total contentment. Now we have the ego mind. We know that. We know what the ego mind's function is, and we know what the ego mind's drive is. It's never enough. You will never have enough, ever. And the fear that pushes many, that when they come out of poverty into wealth, the fear is always there that they will not have enough, so therefore they will be back in poverty. And this drives the entire civilization. And And it is a lie. And it has been perpetrated on the civilization to create the same results that we are seeing and have been seeing ever since the existence of humankind, mankind. And it ends in 5D. It ends because we now have the knowledge of what the heck's been going on with ourselves to a degree. And if we choose to go deeper, we go deeper. And we become more blissful, more joyous, more content. And the deeper we go, the more joyous we get. We experience. So we are with the heart mind. And we are with our God. And we embrace all of us. We have others with us, the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. Trillions of them. And they vibrate at a different vibrational frequency than we do. That's why we don't see them like we see each other. But they do appear in physical form at times to give us a message. It might be only for a few minutes, and then they're gone. But it's really appreciated. And they're all of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. They're vibrating a very high frequency. So are we. We wouldn't be in this meditation if we weren't. We are the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude. Trillions of these individuals can surround us. Thousands on just one of us. We have the Ascended Masters. They're with us. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Moria, Abundancia, Pel, Thoth, many, many, many more. They have ascended out of body and hold God form. Pure thought, pure consciousness. All made out of deep eternal love. Brilliant. And they're of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest, deepest gratitude. Feel that frequency that we're all emitting, that we are. It's phenomenal. Feel that warm wave coming through your body. Feel your God embrace you. And feel the love that you are. Experience it. Take a walk with it. It never leaves you. It never will. It is you. We all are together, high vibrational frequency. We form a circle of light. Circle of light is brilliant light. You can only see the light. Any of us carrying physical form literally blend into the light. And that light is created by a very high frequency of deep eternal love and pure consciousness. It grays out the darkness of space. So arm in arm, hand in hand, so to speak, at the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, this meditation, circle of light, it's brilliant. We begin to levitate ourselves up. And as we go up, we literally, the planet is being bathed in this deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. There is a gossamer field that forms, and right above that is a massive crystalline light tower. Massive. Many times the size of this planet. And this tower continually is lifting the vibrational frequency. We created the tower through pure consciousness. You can see it through your heart mind. You can visit with it whenever you choose, because we are of it. It saturates and floods everything, all life, the highest value in the universes, with high, deep, eternal love and deep, eternal gratitude, with contentment, with joy, with peace, with love. And this gossamer field, magnificent. It has all these different colors. They're so vibrant. The colors are so vibrant. We've never seen these colors on this planet. And we have the emerald green flaming healing light. Archangel Raphael is a column to remind us that we are the healing power. We have the violet blue purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. It is the column to remind us that we are the power, the strength, the resolve. We have the white fire. White fire is a very high frequency of deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. It reminds us that we are protected always. This armor is impenetrable by any low dark matter frequencies, period. They vaporize in any near distance of it. And the only way that it lowers is by our choosing. If we choose to step into the lower matter frequencies, we open the door for them to come in. So if we do, we have the column of the purple transmuting flame. It reminds us that we can bring it in at any time, and we can transmute all of these lower frequencies into neutralized substance, whisk them off to source creation for repurposing to the great central sun, to pure consciousness. And we have the column of the violet ray. We can bring it right in, right behind, and purify the area which we just got through mitigating. We have the golden white pink light of source creation, of pure consciousness, of deep eternal love, deep eternal gratitude. It reminds us that we all are, have been, and always will be pure, deep, eternal love, pure, deep consciousness, complete contentment, joy, and bliss. It's what makes us up. The frequencies that created us. So we all, those of us who carry physical form right now, move outside of our physical form, float above us, and we continue to ascend. As we continue to ascend, we call out to all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And only those who are the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, contentment, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. They come in the gugaplexes. They fill, one gugaplex fills this universe. They come in trillions of gugaplexes from every direction, arm in arm, hand in hand. They're gods with our gods with theirs. And they join us, and they are with us in this meditation, this now, in this circle of light. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. Many, many, many civilizations. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this circle of light, in this now, in the highest and deepest eternal gratitude. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, contentment, joy, bliss, peace, tranquility, and benevolence, and they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love. We are of the highest and deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest and deepest eternal love, and we are all one. And we are all love. and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere, continues to intensify, and continues to expand. We call upon all of the galactics, all of the off-worlders, many, many, many civilizations. Just to name a fraction of our familiarity of those civilizations: the Pleiadians, Arcturians, Andromedans, Syrians, and only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of life. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, generosity, kindness, contentment, joy, bliss, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and they come in the billions. They have been assisting us in our evolution, in our ascension, in our enlightenment, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, and we're all of the highest of deepest eternal love. And we're all one, and we're all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, continues to intensify and expand. We call upon all of our loved ones, all of those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited, and only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest, eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, contentment, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. They come, and they come in the billions, and they come arm in arm, hand in hand, their gods with our gods with theirs. And they are with us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of life. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere, continues to intensify and continues to expand. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth, Gaia, in this now, in this meditation, this circle of light. There are trillions of them, and I will just name a few. The fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur. Many, many, many more. And only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love and the highest and deepest eternal gratitude can join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, contentment, bliss, joy, peace, benevolence, tranquility. And they come in the trillions, shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never laid our eyes upon before. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude and the highest of deepest eternal love. And we're all one. And we're all love. And our God-light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever, and continues to intensify and continues to expand. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It said center circle. We created this here over 2 years ago. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion. This is a highest of high frequencies of deep eternal love and deep eternal gratitude. Excuse me. It can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It carries hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of our meditations. Deep eternal love, gratitude, bliss, joy, peace, prosperity, benevolence, tranquility, contentment, unending, eternal. Feel it flood you. It does always. Inside and out, head to toe, both physical and etherical. It aligns us. It calms us. It lifts us because it is us and the gods that we are in full contentment, embracing all that we are, forgiving, loving. We look down upon this planet Earth, Gaia. We see all of our brothers and sisters. We experience them. We see all life, the highest value in the universes, and they are being flooded and uplifted. Their fears continue to diminish. They feel and start to understand that all that they are is all that they need, all that they will ever need. They feel a total bliss, a complete contentment in the gods that they are and the life that they currently have. Complete contentment, total bliss and joy, peace, relax. You have arrived. I'll join you in the meditation and I'll return to close this out. contentment, the knowing, to be content in the very moment that you're in and the life that you have. This opens up the gateway to all the things that you have desired, but fought and struggled all along the way because of that fear from the ego mind. Leave the mind alone for the rest of this day into the evening and night and the following morning, and just embrace the heart mind. Be there. And in there, you will find contentment. And from the contentment, you will move forward. And the abundance, the wealth, the riches will flow to each and every one of us. We will be back here March 31st, 2020, Tuesday, 3 p.m. Eastern. As I mentioned briefly, I'll be doing a mini meditation on the 10 Mars radio talk show this Friday. And when I get the particulars, I'll share them with everybody. We're also going to do an intent meditation to expand on where we're at and to literally assist the collective consciousness of that which we are to move the frequencies higher with the planet and the civilization. Period. That'll probably be at night. It will be at night, late night, early morning. So I'm sure some of you have seen that passing around on the internet. It's, and the more we have, the better. The more groups that come in, the better. And like I said, we have over 60 million worldwide, so we'll help any way we can. We'll assist any way we can for the betterment of the entire civilization.